Rachel Zegler just faced the ultimate Hollywood horror, sitting in a near-empty theater, watching her own movie flop in real time. And not even Discount Tuesday could save it. The woke Snow White remake didn't just bomb, it vanished into oblivion, leaving Zegler, 23, and a few ride-or-die friends as some of the only souls brave enough to witness the wreckage firsthand. For an actress once hailed as Hollywood's next big thing, this was a brutal reality check. Now, the box office numbers are calling back, and the message is clear. No one showed up. On 25th March 2025, the woke Snow White actress dragged a few loyal friends, Ilda Mason, Jorge Mason Remy, and Maria Isabel de Mason, to watch her own movie in what looked like a ghost town of a theater. And thanks to Ilda's Instagram stories, we got a front row seat to the cringe. With barely anyone else in sight, Ilda screamed Zegler's name as it flashed on the screen, only for Rachel to awkwardly laugh and cheer for herself. It's unclear if they rented out the theater or if the empty seats just came with the movie, but the group tried to make the most of it. They even joined a viral trend, approaching a Regal employee and asking, "2 tickets, please." When he innocently asked, "For which movie?" the camera panned to them, holding their Snow White-themed popcorn bucket and souvenir cup, looking completely baffled.
Please?
For which movie?
As if the night couldn't get more painfully ironic, Zegler clutched a bouquet of flowers, likely a sympathy prize from her friends, since the box office sure wasn't handing out any trophies. Looks like Rachel might have played Snow White, but the only thing this movie's kissing is rock bottom. With just $3.5 million in Thursday previews and a dismal $43 million opening weekend, Disney's Whoa, Snow White isn't just a flop, it's an expensive one. Compared to the Little Mermaid remake's $95 million debut, this disaster isn't even in the same ocean. And let's not forget Dumbo. Yes, Dumbo made almost the same amount in its opening weekend, but with a much smaller budget. Speaking of budgets, Snow White cost over $250 million to make, and that's before marketing. Now, with movie theaters looking emptier than ever, critics are having a field day. Social media is flooded with seating charts showing barely any tickets sold and photos of audience members looking completely alone in their rows. And because the internet never misses a chance to make a joke, some are calling for a GoFundMe to help Disney break even. As the Disney remake tanked at the box office, an old clip of Zegler resurfaced, and let's just say it did not age well. Rachel Zegler once boldly declared that people would wait in line to see her films, but now the only thing stacking up are the receipts, and they're all pointing to Snow White being a royal disaster. In the now viral video, she passionately states that despite her flaws and cracks, she hoped people would wait in line to see.
Everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Fast forward to reality, and the only thing waiting in line is the internet, eager to roast her. Theaters across the country were deserted, ticket sales were tragic, and critics wasted zero time calling her out. One user put it bluntly, "Welcome back to reality, princess. Snow White was a complete flop." Ian Miles Chong added fuel to the fire by reposting the clip on X, reminding everyone that Snow White is officially Disney's lowest performing live-action remake in decades.
This is really a bad movie, and I apologize to Walt Disney himself. I'm sorry.
Now, it looks like Snow White wasn't the only thing crashing and burning. So was Rachel Zegler's relationship with co-star Gal Gadot. A bombshell report from Variety just pulled back the curtain on all the behind-the-scenes chaos surrounding Disney's latest disaster. And spoiler alert, Zegler was at the center of it all. According to anonymous but very Disney-connected sources, execs were already uneasy about Zegler's out-of-pocket comments trashing the original Snow White. But instead of reining her in, they kept quiet. Then came the real mess. Zegler took the stage at Disney's D23 event. All smiles, all charm. Until she left everyone gobsmacked by ending her post-show gratitude post with a bold and unexpected political statement. You best believe Disney went into instant panic mode. Execs were shook. Their $270 million fairy tale had just spiraled into a full-blown political storm, and damage control became the studio's top priority.
Behind the scenes, you guys know as well as I do that those executives like Spielberg are looking at that saying, Rachel Zegler can F right off.
Now Jonah Platt has stepped in to throw some serious shade on Zegler about this. Jonah, son of Snow White producer Mark Platt, took to Instagram in a now-deleted comment to blast Rachel Zegler for the movie's disastrous box office performance. And let's just say, he did not hold back. According to Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, and People, Jonah spilled the tea that his dad had to literally hop on a plane to personally scold Zegler for bringing her personal politics into the film's promo tour. This is called adult responsibility and accountability, Jonah wrote, before bluntly adding that her behavior clearly hurt the movie's success. Of course, even though Mark Platt even flew to New York to personally beg Zegler to cool it down, she wasn't really having it at the time. And the post stayed up for quite some time. Meanwhile, things between Zegler and Godot, let's just say their mirror-mirror dynamic took a turn. While insiders claim they were all smiles during filming, the lead-up to release got awkward and fast. It doesn't just stop there either. After the two awkwardly presented together at the 2025 Oscars, Zegler threw what many saw as a backhanded jab at Godot. She basically called Godot a professional pageant queen in an Instagram reply. The internet clocked the comment as shady, and even Disney insiders agreed it felt dismissive toward a fellow actress. But things were already tense behind the scenes. You see, Zegler and Godot found themselves on opposite sides of a highly charged political issue.
Zegler also faced blowback after posting Free Palestine. Godot is from Israel and served in the Israeli army.
Due to that, Zegler's posts expressing one-sided political support reportedly created serious challenges for Godot, who, due to her background, became the target of intense backlash and even threats to her safety. The situation got so bad that Disney had to cough up cash for extra security for the mother of four. She didn't understand the repercussions of her actions, for the film, for Gal, for anyone, an insider spilled, and as if that wasn't enough, the $270 million disaster of a film was already bleeding money thanks to costly reshoots and Zegler's never-ending controversial takes. Then came the final straw. After the presidential election, Zegler fired off an Instagram post reading, "May Trump supporters never know peace." That one sentence sent Disney executives into meltdown mode. At that point, the studio had had enough. She was alienating half the potential audience for an already doomed film. Disney tried one last Hail Mary. Producer Mark Platt personally flew out to meet her not once, but twice. After much back and forth, Zegler finally agreed to work with a social media expert, paid for by Disney, to approve every single post leading up to the film's March 21st release. But just when you thought the drama between Zegler and Godot had settled, online feud watchers are back at it. This time, over a glaring omission in Zegler's latest Instagram post. On March 20th, just hours before Snow White limped into theaters, Zegler took to Instagram to call the film a life-changing experience, gushing over the greatest crew in the world. She raved about how she fell in love with the team she worked with over 3 magical summers in London. But who was conspicuously missing from this love fest? Gal Gadot. No mention, no photos, and of course the internet noticed. Now, could this just be an innocent oversight? Sure, but when you add in Zegler's Oscar night dig and all the behind-the-scenes tensions, it's hard not to see this as another not-so-subtle snub. And the drama doesn't stop there. If Snow White's disastrous box office numbers weren't already a fairy tale nightmare, the swirling controversies surrounding Rachel Zegler certainly aren't helping. From the moment Disney cast Zegler as their new Snow White, the internet erupted. Some critics took issue with a Latina actress playing the pale-skinned princess, much like the backlash Halle Bailey faced when she was cast as The Little Mermaid's Ariel. Zegler, however, didn't hold back. In a since-deleted social media post, she fired back at the outraged keyboard warriors. "Yes, I am Snow White. No, I am not bleaching my skin for the role," she wrote, per the Wall Street Journal. She even called her critics losers obsessed with maintaining the bloodline purity of a cartoon princess. That didn't exactly calm the storm. In a 2022 Variety interview with Andrew Garfield, Zegler acknowledged the frenzy surrounding her casting, admitting that she had become a trending topic due to angry people. But while controversy can sometimes fuel a film's success, Snow White isn't seeing that kind of magic. You see, Zegler's Snow White has been fighting an uphill battle from the moment it was announced, and her own comments about the story certainly haven't helped. In a 2022 interview with Extra, Zegler made waves when she called the original 1937 Snow White storyline weird. "There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird," she said, referring to Prince Charming.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
Disney had already hinted at modernizing the Snow White remake, but Zegler's wording made it sound like she was outright dismissing the original film's beloved romance. What really set people off, though, is when she said they were taking a different approach with the film. Critics accused her of trashing the very film she was supposed to celebrate, arguing that Snow White, the first full-length animated Disney movie, is a classic for a reason. Some pointed out the irony: if you hate the story so much, why take the role? One fan wrote on X, and just when things couldn't get messier, Disney's live-action Snow White wasn't just stirring up drama over Zegler's casting. Oh no, the controversy went way deeper. Peter Dinklage had a lot to say about the film's handling of the Seven Dwarfs. Back in 2022, during an episode of Mark Maron's WTF podcast, the Game of Thrones star didn't hold that. He found it hypocritical that Disney was patting itself on the back for casting a Latina actress as Snow White while still telling a story about seven dwarfs. The contradiction didn't sit well with Hume.
You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that fucking backward story of seven dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man?
He questioned how a studio could push for progressiveness in one area while keeping what he saw as an outdated portrayal of dwarfs living together in a cave. His blunt criticism ignited a firestorm online. Soon, Wee Men also came out to give his 2 cents on this controversy. You're replacing jobs that people could have as little people. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? It's 4 dwarfs, you know? Now, some praise Peter for calling out Disney's selective approach to progress, while others argued that he was erasing roles for actors with dwarfism. The debate was loud, and Disney clearly took notice. The very next day, Disney scrambled to address the backlash, putting out a statement saying they were taking a different approach to the Seven Dwarfs and had been consulting with members of the dwarfism community. That different approach ultimately meant scrapping the classic Seven Dwarfs altogether. And what did they replace them with? CGI dwarfs. The backlash was instant and brutal. Fans took one look at Disney's CGI dwarfs and practically recoiled. The photorealistic approach? A total misfire.
That is totally uplifting and the right way to be woke, Link, when you actually cancel the roles for the marginalized population because just putting them on screen is somehow racist.
Instead of capturing the charm and expressiveness of the original animated characters, these digital creations looked stiff, unnatural, and, well, just plain weird. And just like that, another chapter in Snow White's long, messy saga became yet another lightning rod for debate. But after all the drama, the real question was, would Disney still roll out the red carpet or quietly sweep this mess under it? Turns out they went for the latter. According to Variety, Disney scrapped the typical fanfare in favor of a low-key daytime pre-party on March 15th, followed by an understated screening at Hollywood's iconic El Capitan Theater. Even the European premiere got a hush-hush treatment. Instead of the usual glitzy affair in London's Leicester Square, Disney tucked it away in a northern Spain castle. So what does this point to? Lack of confidence or fear of controversy? Or maybe a quiet admission that the film might not deliver? Whatever the case, for a project already drowning in scandal, this subdued premiere felt like yet another sign that Disney was bracing for impact. With a muted premiere, relentless backlash, and a box office performance that sailed up to its $270 million price tag, Snow White wasn't just a fairy tale. It was a cautionary tale. And as the dust settles, the real question is, how did Disney get it so wrong? Let us know in the comments what you think of the PR nightmare surrounding the Snow White remake. And if you want more of the Snow White drama, then this is the next video that you need to watch.